This is 20th Level Commoners for Numenera. Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of 20th Level Commoners. We are here to talk to you about a game made by kind of a legend within the RPG community.
Yeah, I would say Monty Cook is only slightly less famous than like Gary Gygax or something.
What did Monty Cook do exactly? Was he one of the co-founders of D&D, or did he do?
He was one of the lead writers on third edition.
Oh.
He helped author the Planescape setting. He helped author a lot of smaller games. Aside from that, but he's mostly famous for his work on third edition, his work on the Eberron setting, and now his work on this game, Numenera.
Yeah. Also, the concept of a Monty Cook DM.
Yes,
Someone who gives their players way too much.
And then wonders what happened.
Wonders why their campaign got away from them.
I'm a little bit of a Monty Cook DM. And this Monty Cook game is kind of made for Monty Cook DMs.
Yeah.
Very much so.
So, the game we're talking about is Numenera. It is it's kind of like a Diablo / Nier.
Yeah.
So it's got like the loot hoarding of Diablo and the kind of
post-apocalypse.
Post-apocalyptic, but also rebuilt world that you see in like Nier, where like fragments of the past civilization are obviously there, but it's been so long, no one really knows what it's there for. Kind of like Mad Max in 3,000 years. But
I cannot stress this enough. This game is set 1 billion years in the future.
Yeah.
Like, just to put that in check, the dinosaurs died 65 million years ago. Like, we are closer to dinosaurs than they are to us, and they're still humans. Like, they actually explain that a little bit, or they explain it by not explaining it. They say that humans died out, but now they're back, and no one knows why. They're aliens, but they're marooned on here, and they don't know any more than anyone else.
It's just been so long.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this game is kind of characterized by some very abstract concepts and skills, to the point they have skills, but they're just suggestions. You can actually make up whatever skill you want.
Yeah, pro tip, stick to a list and give it to your players. They give you a list of like 30 skills. They're mostly good ideas. They're going to cover anything you want to. I think a better way to word this is like, here are the skills. If your player has a good idea, just let them have that skill.
I have a skill in Mary suing. Well, that sounds like a great idea. Go ahead, have that skill. Be super specialized in it. +4.
Yeah, also in the world, speaking of Mary suing,
right.
A first level character in D&D is pretty much just some guy. Like, he might be a little tougher, he might have a little more training. It's his potential to become great that makes him great. A first level glaive or jack or nano, those are the 3 classes, are already, cyborg super soldiers.
This game takes the the World of Darkness exalted path, where everyone kind of starts out really good. And instead of really going up, this game tries to avoid the math breakdown that plagues Pathfinder so heavily.
I think they do a good job.
Yeah, by not exactly giving you upgrades. They just give you more stuff to do as you go up a level. And so that's another kind of characteristic about this. Another odd characteristic that I think will divide a lot of people is that the DM does almost nothing.
Yeah, this is what really had me pissed off before I actually played it. The DM will not touch the dice, ever. If a player attacks, he rolls his attack. If he is being attacked, he rolls his defense. This is not contempt, though. I thought it was for a very long time. This is really just to make the job easier for DMs and make things faster. And it works like that. It's a really fast system, and you just name off numbers and everything. The dice system, especially when you're looking at how simple the bestiary is, I'm just going to have to take a little bit on the bestiary right now. Levels for monsters, it's ×3, and that is their attack, that is their defense. So a level 1 monster, you have to roll a 3 or higher to
hit
attack
it.
him, and he has to roll. You have to roll a 3 or higher to evade him. And his HP is set. Everyone else has 3 HP bars. We'll get into that a little later, but the monster only has 1. They're just kind of defined by this number and a small set of powers. That seems a little too simplistic, but it actually makes things really fast. This is supposed to be a fast game.
Yeah, so it's a very simple system. It uses like a D20 and then occasionally like a D12 or a D100.
Very rarely.
So it's a lot closer to a true 20 in that respect. I liked the character creation on it a lot, just because, as Cody mentioned, you have 3 classes, and then, as Cody mentioned again, you have 3 stat pools for might, speed, and intellect.
Yes.
And these are both your HP bar and your MP bar. So anytime you want to use an ability, you have to spend a number of points from that pool. Like, say, if you wanted to do like a dodgy springy thingy, you would probably then, what you could do, say that dodgy springy ability costs 2 speed points. So then you would lower your speed pool by 2.
Yeah.
And then you could do this dodgy springy thing. And so that's how it acts as your MP bar. How it acts as your HP bar is when you get hit, you subtract out your armor, which is DR in this game. It's not like AC.
Yeah.
And depending on where the person hits you, if he hits you in the might, in the speed, or in the intellect, you subtract from that pool as well. And so it's kind of a give and take where it's a little bit of risk management. A little bit. But the thing is, like, you get so much HP and you get it back so fast. Like, one action can let you get HP back. 1 hour lets you get HP back. So it's a pretty flowing number, but it's usually pretty high. We never really got in any danger in our test session.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of built that way.
Yeah. And after you pick your stuff, like the glaive's the fighter, the jack is the jack of all trades, and the nano is the wizard. And so you pick your class, you distribute your points, because everyone gets 6 points.
Yes.
And then you pick these abilities your guys get. So like the glaive gets fighter abilities he can pick. The nano gets wizardy abilities he can pick, and the jack, interestingly enough, gets a combination of both of those two. He's not a rogue. He is an everyman.
Yeah.
It's a very important distinction, I think, to make, because don't go in thinking like this guy has to be sneaky or like he's going to do sneak attack stuff. No, he's closer to a magus.
He does get a sneak attack, but it's pretty minor compared to a D&D sneak attack.
And after you pick your class, distribute your points, pick your abilities, you then pick a focus. And this is where like the meat of the game is, because basically this is like the background, like in Dragon Age.
Yeah.
The background, and it determines kind of your main abilities or what your big idea is.
It's your background, it's your power set, it's your theme. And this, I noticed when everyone was making their characters, this is when people kind of started perking up. Like, the main actual building your character, it was kind of dull. It was kind of whiteboard, and then people said, "Where's a halo of fire?"
Yeah, it's
I'm
really,
gonna look at this.
really wacky shit like that. Like Trevor picked, because of course he did. He picked the ability that let him phase through walls.
Yeah,
that was his focus. Something happened to him at some point, and he and Kaisa's character worked it out. And so, like, basically what happened was when you pick that background, you're like a mutant who can't control their powers. And so the game says you have to pick a player character who helps you control your powers. And so Trevor picked Kais, who was the wizard. And so those two have a connection. So like all of your focuses make you have a connection.
That's another really cool thing about this game, because you pick another character and they help you out with it.
Yeah, and that's...
Yours was maybe the most interesting.
Yeah, I love mine. But yeah, and so it's got kind of like Double Cross, but it's with player characters instead of these amorphous NPCs the DM controls, because it has to be player characters. And so Trevor could like phase through walls, and he also had like an established connection with Kaisa's character, and so that actually led to a little more role playing, to where because I had a connection with Steven, and it actually led to Steven and I being a group and Kais and Trevor being a group, and they just kind of played off each other a little more. To the point where we split the party, but it was good.
Yeah, that was the one party splitting that worked out pretty damn well.
But yeah, and so another example is it doesn't have to be some weird mutant power. Like, I picked a focus called Carries a Quiver, and basically, like, I'm just Hawkeye.
Yeah,
that's about it.
Steven picked a focus called Murders.
Yeah, murders.
That's it. Just
murders people. That's the roguey focus where you get like sneak attack and disguise. Where basically, if you wanted to play Agent 47, that's the focus for you. Because like he focuses on disguise and all that. But yeah, the one I picked, it wasn't too fancy. It just let me, I'm good with the bow. Pew pew. But the player interaction was, I got a finely crafted bow, and so I had to pick a player character who gave me that finely crafted bow, and so I picked Steven, and then Steven picked me for his, which if you pick the murder focus, it's like someone knows your real identity. And so I know his real identity because I helped him on like a mission, and then he gave me the bow in return. The other part of my focus was, this is the reason I picked it, even though it sounds really dull. In secret, without telling anyone, you have to pick another character, and anytime you miss, you have to, if possible, hit the other character. Right? So basically what that's saying is Trevor was the fighter, so I picked him. And so he would be in like melee, and I'd go in and take a shot. And then if I missed, it would hit Trevor.
Didn't this happen like 3 times in a row?
3 times in a row, yes. And then after you pick your focus, you can pick kind of your big background story trait. And so we can roll randomly for that. And so we rolled randomly, and I got was a mutant for something, or got a virus. My parent did, and I got it from the parent. And so I said, yeah, I have a virus that gives me really good eyesight, but I hallucinate sometimes. And so every time I missed, I said, I hallucinate and think Trevor's the enemy, and I shoot him in the back.
To be fair, he did have a big hyena helmet.
Yeah.
We'll get into that later.
But yeah, and so honestly, that's not something I would ever think about doing if I were playing Pathfinder.
Yeah.
And so it's got that really good roleplay edge to it.
Yeah, I would definitely say on this game, roll randomly any chance you get. You get some really fun stuff on this.
Because after that, you get the ciphers, which are these one-time use items that grant you certain abilities.
Yes.
And there's 100 of them. And you roll randomly on that table at character creation. And Glaives and Jax get 2, Nanos get 3 because they're the wizards. Yeah, roll randomly on that. Because, I think Kais wanted to pick, but it was just no. Because that's the thing, if someone wants to pick, they're going to pick the best item, and that's not the point of this game.
Yeah.
I don't think.
The point of this game is for weird shit to happen.
Yeah, and it's like Diablo if it was DM'd by
Monty Cook.
Monty Cook, yeah. Because it's all about the loot.
Yeah.
It's all about finding shit, and it's all about finding it in random order.
Yes.
Motherfuckers. That's right.
Because a big theme of the game is you don't actually know what any of this stuff is or what it's used for, and oftentimes you're not using it for the right purpose. If you're using grenades and bombs, these could have been power, and could have been batteries, power cells, stuff like that.
Yeah.
A gun could have just been an exhaust port. A lot of these things could have been janitorial items in an advanced society.
The emotion poison Steven had?
Yeah.
It's just bleach.
It's just bleach.
Yeah, Steven rolled randomly and got an emotional poison.
Yeah.
Which fit his character pretty well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the theme to this game is wacky shit gonna happen. This game, there's no way this game can't turn into just a clown shoe circus. I don't think it's possible.
Yeah.
Unless, you want to be boring and let everyone pick everything. And that's... Why? Why would you do that?
Why don't you just play D&D?
Yeah, exactly. Because even during pre-records, I was struggling to think before we moved on to this point. I was struggling to think like, well, why wouldn't you just play? Honestly, why wouldn't you just play 4th edition over this? Because like if you just want a dungeon crawl, like
Yeah.
4th edition, it's got more options, it's more structured, it's better written. This game is horribly written.
This game is very well written in parts, but as a structure, as a whole,
Like
it's got some
the
fucking
entire
issues.
character creation is split over like 3 chapters.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's really bad.
I still have not been able to find what rapid fire does.
Yeah.
I've looked.
See, the thing is, I've had this game for like 3 years, right?
Uh-huh.
And every time I would crack it and be like, I'm going to figure out Numenera today. I'd crack it open, and it's like the words were covered in Vaseline for the eyes. Like, I would read it, and my eyes would like physically slip off the page.
Honestly, I think that might
Because
be
I would just get so distracted.
I might be something with the actual design of the book. Something about the pure white pages and the artwork. Something about how it's structured. It's like it's scientifically designed. I was reading that thing and I would just subconsciously like start playing a YouTube video like, stop.
Nah.
It gave me alien hand syndrome.
Yeah, I don't... This book is weird. Like, it does shit to you.
But if you can get past that initial hump, it's really fascinating.
You can, because there's a player's guide.
Yes.
And that's just a burned down copy of the rules. Actually, it's more like a demo.
Once you get to the focuses, once you get to the story hooks, not the main setting is
Shit.
impossibly boring. Like, Greyhawk would call this shit generic. But once you get to, like, the pentagram-shaped forest with fruit that will, like, turn into worms that kill you, and that's how they make more trees, that's when it gets really interesting.
But yeah, and so our test session was Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, okay. Full disclosure, that's probably not how you're supposed to play the game. I honestly, the same one doing it for me. I was thinking, this is Nier, this is Final Fantasy VI, this is a post-apocalypse where people are just learning enough to wipe themselves out, and that's really cool. Something about one doing it for me. But when they said the N-word, that is nanomachines, Jesus Christ, I couldn't think about anything but Metal Gear Solid.
Nanomachines.
So, I'm pretty proud of this, by the way. I made a Metal Gear Solid campaign. It is the plot of Metal Gear Solid 1, except for Snake is dead. Liquid Snake did the smart thing. Instead of killing McDonald Miller, he went over to Alaska and killed Solid Snake. And so you guys are the new Foxhound recruits. You were going to go to Shadow Mo's Island like probably next week or next month or something like that. Instead, your first job as Foxhound agents is to kill the old Foxhound and become the new Foxhound.
Yeah. We only got to Revolver Ocelot, but,
That was kind of what was meant to be. I covered everything that was in the demo, except I skipped the first hostage and went right to the Ocelot boss fight, because that's pretty rad. Way to end.
But yeah, basically what happened was, like I said, Steven and I split into a group, and Kais and Trevor split into a group. And what happened was Steven had a disguise kit, and so we went in, grabbed a guy, like Steven used the nano emotion poison on him and like shriveled his head to the size of like a golf ball, and then picks up and like disguises himself as a guard, and then like I let myself be handcuffed, and we just walk into the prison because Steven was trained in disguise and everyone thought he was Gary. Gary, the next generation special forces soldier.
Yeah, Gary, the next generation special forces soldier who had numerous children, was about to, come graduate in college and start working on the disease his mother had.
Yeah. It was his wife.
Oh, his wife had that disease.
Super cancer AIDS.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was.
It's really sad.
But yeah, yeah, and so while we were working our way down, Kais and Trevor like did the hard way where they just snuck through behind us.
Mm-hmm.
And that led to some pretty funny moments. Like Trevor cleaving a man in half.
Yeah.
And then half of the body falling off a balcony. And Trevor jumping off the balcony to try and catch the body so no one heard it. And failing hard. And then just phasing into the ground.
Yeah, and 2 people saw him, and they started, like, shooting into the ground, freaking out because they saw, like, half of their buddy fall down, and another guy, like, sink into the floor with that buddy. But like right when their commanding officer came up, Caius, who has this kind of precipitation power, he turned the blood on the ground white. So there was no evidence except for them freaking out and shooting the floor.
Yeah, the hedge magic in this game is kind of
Yeah,
prestidigitation 2.0, motherfuckers.
it's really good.
Yeah.
Of course, it's not a cantrip. It costs you a point.
It does.
Not that matters because you have edge. Edge lets you take the edge off these powers. So if you have one edge, something costs 1 point. It costs 0 points. So it becomes a cantrip.
Yeah, so basically when you make a character creation, depending on which class you pick, you will get an edge in a certain stat. And so let's say my guy had an edge of 1 in speed. And so any ability I had that burned speed point, burned 1 less speed point. And so all of my abilities use speed and they cost 1 point. So all of my abilities were free because
Nice.
I had 1 in edge. Trevor as a glaive got an edge in might and speed. Kais got 1 in intellect because he was the nano.
Because he was a mage.
I don't know if I like that because basically we were doing shit and nothing was happening. Like
The
we
only
just weren't
person who
burning
was losing
anything.
points was Trevor because he picked this ridiculous mental power for his fighter.
Yeah, every time Trevor phased through something, you had to spend 2 intellect points. So, you know. I guess there was another thing where like you can add a +1 to your damage by spending 3 points.
Yes, you can add a +1 to your damage, you can add a +1 to your attack. You can really just do like a +1 to anything by adding these 3 points.
Mm-hmm. So you have to burn 3 points. Yeah, so it's called effort.
Yes.
Applying effort. So if you're doing an action, like say attacking, you can burn 3 points from the relevant pool to get a +1 in that action. And a +1's a big deal because these rolls are really low. So like say Trevor tries to hit somebody and he misses by 1, he can burn 3 points from his might pool, or 2 because he has an edge of 1, and get a +1 and actually hit the guy.
Yeah.
Which he did a couple times. The rolls were fickle. That's answered.
Also, all of the enemies, they were kind of they were kind of built to where hitting them is pretty much a 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
And you make the swing to like 55-45. And so it's very much a 50-50 on these hits. And that's kind of the balance I think you're supposed to be going for on this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Would we replace this game with Pathfinder, or replace Pathfinder with the game?
No, but I could see somebody else doing that.
Yeah, like I can totally see a certain group somewhere making this their main game. We are not that group because
we like stats. We like building characters.
Yeah, I would never DM this game because just the way I DM, I like having that control. I like making secret rolls.
Mm-hmm.
And I like potentially lying.
Yeah.
To get something to happen.
I did miss that a little bit.
Yeah. Not admitting to anything, but
yeah, the only power it robs you as a DM is the power to lie.
Mm-hmm. Which is a big fucking power to some people. Like, God. And so as a DM, it's going to be a lot harder to rein your players in. And if you don't care about that, this game is perfect because it's just going to go nuts. And there's nothing you can do about it for better or worse. Really.
This is a damn good party game.
Yeah. Yeah, like this, like we play a one-off of this every once in a while and everything just goes nuts. It'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
But as a full campaign, like, I'd get sick of it real fucking quick because,
this is kind of the Deadpool of tabletop
it's
systems.
the Deadpool of tabletop games. And
it's great in short bursts.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm the kind of guy who's just like, can we at least take this a little serious, guys? Like, just a little bit. We don't have to do it long. Just please. Like, yeah, okay. You turn the boss into a boat. That's funny. Yeah, okay. He's a rubber ducky now. It's great. Yeah. Can something cool happen now? Oh, we turned that other boss into a pile of shit. Okay, that's great. Yep, this is great role playing, guys. Yep, rainbows shooting out of his butthole. That's great. Yeah, it's just that grates on me faster than most people, I think. But yeah, again, if that sounds like wacky, zany, fun to you, go for it. I respect your decision, even though you're wrong. I'm kidding. Don't worry.
I could probably stick into this longer than Vincel would. I could see a serious group taking this seriously, but Jesus Christ, it would be hard not to turn to giggle fits.
Just play Pathfinder.
If you want a serious game, play a D&D game.
Yeah.
If you want to have... If you want weird, crazy shit to happen, this is basically guaranteed.
Right.
You will not see that none of the DMs, none of the players are going to see any of the shit coming, and it's going to be wild and crazy.
Yeah. So that sounds like fun. Go forth, my friends.
Yeah.
I will sit here with 5th edition.
Yeah.
So, Cody, I don't go on the forums much. You do. You do, you robe-wearing bastard. What do you say on the forums? Yeah.
Jack shit. It's kind of fallen off the radar a bit. Although, the only real thing I've been reading on the forums is this one guy who's doing a Mist campaign. So I like to think this is kind of proof that the right answer is to make your own setting on this. Mm-hmm. Although I can see a Mist campaign working pretty well on that. The reviews, though, on DriveThruRPG, there are 50, and it is almost universally positive. Mm-hmm. And the negatives are pretty much the same as the positives. That this is, it's kind of random, it's kind of clown shoes, weird shit's gonna happen. The only really different criticism is this 3-star review. And it kind of complains about how the main setting is, it's a little basic, it's a little generic, it kind of doesn't do a lot of justice to the high concept.
Yeah, because, this is Earth a billion years in the future, and it's peasants and knights and, standard D&D, right?
And he also complained about the Jack. I think you had some issues with the Jack. The Jack is just a lazy mix of glaive and nano abilities.
No, I liked it.
Ported straight over from those two characters, yeah.
I liked it. I liked the Jack. No, I didn't mean to, make it think I didn't like the Jack. No, because I liked that. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it is just... I'm not kidding. You get half of the abilities of the glaive and half of the abilities of nano, and they're just shoved into the same class. And
yeah,
I like that, actually. I could do head magic if I wanted to, and I could also, thrust if I wanted to. I like balanced characters like that. But
yeah, I could definitely make
it's very lazy though. Yeah, it is incredibly lazy.
I think they should have just had a 4th rogue guy. That would have been nice. Mm-hmm. I don't think it would have been that hard.
Yeah. But, yeah, the setting, probably make your own. Character creation is good. Don't plan on doing anything serious in this game. And if you're a DM who likes having a little control and, pulling some smoke and mirrors on your players, don't play this game.
Don't plan on planning in this game.
Yeah, don't plan on planning
Random
either.
Shit is gonna happen.
Yeah, this is designed to be a murder hobo dungeon crawl, and not much else.
This is a high concept murder hobo dungeon crawl,
right? Yeah, and
it's kind of like how I was saying The Revenant is sort of an art house version of Evil Dead 2. Mm-hmm. This is kind of an art house version of Tomb of Horrors.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it is from Monty Cook, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. Monty Cook didn't write Tomb of Horrors.
That
was a Gygax.
That was Gygax pure and pure. That was pure Gygax meanness.
Oh, Gary. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch. But yeah. That's about all we got on this one. I mean, it's aight. It's not for us. It could definitely be for you.
It's very good at what it tries to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, if you are at all interested in this game, you can find it on DriveThruRPG for perpetually on sale for $20.
Yeah.
I don't know why they do that, but I imagine the physical book is $60 because that's what the list price is.
Mm-hmm.
You can get the Bestiary for another $20. You can also get the Player's Guide, which is essentially a demo for $8.
Although I should say that the Numenera main player's handbook has a small bestiary in it that is really good, and you don't need a big bestiary because you can just make up monsters like that.
Yeah.
It also has all the setting information you can need. Like, this is one of the most complete player's handbooks I've ever seen.
Nice.
Since the rules cyclopedia even.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as completeness goes, you're getting a lot for your $20.
Yeah. So there you go. So yeah, I guess at the end of the day, it's a recommendation.
Yeah, definitely.
If that's what you're looking for.
If you got $20 just burning a hole in your pocket and you're looking for a new game, I would definitely give it a shot.
Yeah, I mean it's worth it.
Yeah.
Even if it's not really your game, like I said, we had fun in like the one session we did.
Yeah.
Just don't plan on doing a whole campaign with it.
Yeah, and if you guys are more into clown shoes, a little more into doing Monty Python quotes the whole game, this is going to be your bag.
This is a party game in the purest sense.
Yeah.
But hey, Cody. Next week, I'm thinking, let's just overcorrect the shit out of this and go from super clown shoes to super serious. Because my friend lent me a copy of Rogue Trader, and I'm itching to play it. So next time, we're going to do Warhammer Rogue Trader.
Oh, you mean that game where everyone worships the Emperor and there is no possibility of dissent, and to where even if you look at him, you're going to get shot in the face if you're lucky?
Yes.
Yes.
Warhammer 40k, guys. Let's fucking do this.
Yeah.
Rogue Trader next time.
The
See you
spare
guys.
train. Choo choo.
Woo!